Okay, so now we are going to create some text animation inside of Cinema 4D. So obviously for the text we have to create one text. So let's go to the Mo graph and we are going to select this Mo text over here like this. And let's go to the text and type whatever text you want. I'm going to type animation and hit OK like this. So I'll get this kind of stuff. And let's do one thing, instead of all caps I'll type normal letter like this, and I'm going to select this text over here, and for the font I'm going to choose Poppins font, but you can choose any font which is in the form of black. And instead of I think regular looks, sorry, select this, I think regular looks good, and align I'm going to choose middle. Okay, like this. Now along with that, what we are going to do over here, I will also create one spline. So for go to the spline and I'm going to choose text spline. Now in text spline also you will get similar options. So type animation over here also, hit OK, go to the align tab, choose middle, and for the fonts choose same font that you have chosen for this one. Now select this more text over here and I'm going to increase the depth to 50 like this. Let's see which is over here. Now select this more text and let's bring this backward like this. Now select this text and by holding control I'm going to create a duplicate it and I'm going to bring this in front of it. Okay, and for this one because this is in front, so I'll call it as front. This is in the middle, so hit enter and let's call it as middle. And this is at the back, so I'll call it as BG. Okay, only not BG but let's say back. Okay, and now I'll select one which is in the front and depth I'm going to choose 0, so now I'll get something like this. Okay, now we will adjust the position properly, so I'll go to the right view and I'll move this over here, and I'll select this one and I'll move this over here like this. Okay, so each and everyone is now properly at the position. Now we will add camera in our scene and I'm going to enable the visibility of that camera also. I'll select this camera, I'll go to the coordinates and I'm going to select all the zeros. So there are basic simple way. If you want to make this 0, all you can do simply type 0, or you can simply right click on this icon, this and this. Okay, so now all values are 0. And now if you go to the right view over here, you can select your camera and you can simply move this over here. Let's go over here and adjust in a proper way. I think this one looks good, and if I hit Ctrl R I'll get something like this. Now let's select this camera, go to the object and focal length I'm going to choose 50. Now again go over here and let's change it to over here like this. Now I'll select this camera, press Ctrl Shift Z to make this proper view. Right click, go to the Cinema 4D tag and I'm going to enable my protection tag. So now I cannot change this view like this. Now select this camera and deselect the view. So now our camera is properly at the position. So we can adjust all of our scene by adding different lights and animation, but our camera will be at the same place. Now I'll select my plane. I'll press R for rotation. By holding shift I'll rotate it on plus 90 degree. I'll go to the top view and I'll move this over here. Let's increase the size over here. Go to the right view, increase the size over here like this. If I see this thing through my camera I'll get something like this. If I hit Ctrl R I'll still get something like this. Okay, so let's disable this camera. Now our plane is also ready. I'll hide this for now. I'll select this middle, hide this, I'll hide this also. Now we will focus on this spline over here. So we are going to choose our sweep option. So before that we need to create another spline which is circle. I'm going to select this circle and radius, let's choose 5 or let's choose 2. Yeah, 2 looks good. And now go select your sweep, select this circle, move inside the sweep, select this text and move inside this sweep over here. So now as you guys can see, this circle is around with this lines. You can select this circle anytime and you can increase the radius of it like this. And if you see this through camera, we will get something like this over here. Now I'll select this sweep, and if you check out this end growth, you can animate this text like this, and you can also start with the start stroke over here. So now what I'm going to do, initially I'm going to make it 0. I'll create one keyframe. Let's make this scene up to, let's say, 280 frames over here. I'll select this sweep. I'll go to 90 frames and I'm going to make this end growth 100 and create another keyframe. So if I see this thing now, I'll get this kind of animation for this text. Okay, now I'm going to animate this middle portion over here because we have animated this. Now to animate this middle portion, I'll animate this from 60 frames like this. So I'll select this middle, I'll go to my MoGraph option and I'm going to choose my effectors, and for the effector I'm going to choose plane. Make sure to select this middle and choose plane over here. Now we have plane over here. Let's minimize this. Select this plane, and if you go to the parameter right now, you can move it wherever you want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make it 100. Rotation, I'm going to choose 90, 90 and 90. Go to the scale and uniform scale, and I'm going to make it -1 like this. Now let's select this plane over here, go to the fall off, and I'm going to choose linear field. So what will happen with the help of this linear field, we can animate this text like this. So let's increase this size of this linear field, and initially let's move this over here. Select this linear field, create one keyframe at 60, go to somewhere around 140, and let's move this linear field from here to here and create another keyframe. So if I see this animation from the start, first I'll get this, then I'll get this. Okay, so this is the basic animation. Now as you guys know that we have this front view over here also. Let's hide all of this lines and this sweep also. Now we have this front menu, and now I'll press ND on my keyboard so I can see the edges, and let's we disable this camera so we can focus on this text properly like this. Now I'll select this animation text over here, and now I'll go to the caps, and right now type is nGold, so I'm going to choose quadrangle. So I'll get this kind of edges over here, and I'm going to enable this regular grid, so I'll get this kind of proper grids over here. And if you decrease the width, I'll get something like this. Okay, so if you see this, we will get something like this. Now I'll select this front menu and I'll press C to make this object editable.